They laughed at him. They mocked him. They said he'd never make it. But Donald Trump didn't just win an election. He transformed an entire political party, reshaped American conservatism, and built a movement so powerful that it defied political norms, scandals, and even democracy itself. How did he do it? The answer isn't just in his policies, but in the way he consolidated power, controlled narratives, and mastered media like no one before him. This is the story of how Trump built his political kingdom. Consolidation of power within the Republican Party. Trump's rise wasn't just about winning elections. It was about taking over an entire party. From the moment he entered the political scene, he made it clear loyalty to Trump was the only currency that mattered in the Republican Party. He labeled critics within his own party as rhinos, Republicans in name only, attacking anyone who dared to question him. He endorsed loyalists and ruthlessly crushed dissenters, making sure that those who opposed him faced primary challenges backed by his powerful base. In the aftermath of his impeachment, 10 Republican House members voted against him. By 2024, only 2 remained in office. The rest had either lost their seats or left politics altogether. The result? A Republican Party remade in Trump's image, where opposition wasn't just discouraged, it was punished. Appeal to disaffected voter bases. Trump's movement was more than just a political strategy, it was a cultural phenomenon. He didn't just win voters, he built a devoted following among those who felt ignored, left behind, or betrayed by the political system. He spoke directly to blue-collar, rural, and working-class white voters who believed globalization and immigration had robbed them of the American dream. His message of America First promised economic revival and cultural preservation, framing himself as a defender against outsiders and elites. He turned discontent into a weapon, using fear, grievance, and anger to unite voters who felt alienated by traditional politics. This wasn't just about policy, it was about identity. Trump became a symbol of resistance against the forces his supporters blamed for their struggles: control and mastery of media. If there was one thing Trump understood better than any politician before him, it was the power of media. He bypassed traditional media and communicated directly with his supporters via Twitter before his ban, and later Truth Social. He deployed the flood the zone strategy, dominating the news cycle with a never-ending barrage of controversy, ensuring he was always the center of attention. He waged war on the press, branding mainstream outlets as fake news and the enemy of the people, effectively discrediting any negative coverage. Trump didn't just play the media game, he rewrote the rules and made himself the referee. Manipulation of governing structures. Trump didn't just challenge political norms, he bulldozed through them. His presidency rewrote the playbook on executive power and governance. He ignored long-standing traditions, refusing to release tax returns, sidestepping conflicts of interest, and openly defying oversight. After losing the 2020 election, he attempted to overturn the results, leveraging legal maneuvers, pressuring officials, and inciting supporters to challenge the democratic process. His false claims of a rigged election solidified an unprecedented level of distrust in American democracy, with millions of Americans believing the system was compromised. Trump turned governance into a battlefield, and his base stood by him no matter what the cost. Endorsement strategy and fundraising power. Trump's endorsements became the ultimate political weapon. If a Republican wanted to win an election, they needed his backing. Candidates who embraced MAGA ideology received his endorsement, and in return, gained access to his loyal voter base. His fundraising empire dominated the political landscape, with small-dollar donations pouring in from grassroots supporters who saw him as their champion. Trump turned his political brand into a billion-dollar movement, ensuring that even out of office, he remained the most powerful Republican in America. This wasn't just about elections, it was about maintaining absolute influence. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Trump's rise follows a pattern we've seen before in history. What do leaders like Mussolini, Perón, and Putin have in common with Trump? More than you might think. Strategies similar to historical dictators. Throughout history, authoritarian-leaning leaders have used similar tactics to seize and hold power. Trump's political playbook mirrors some of these well-worn strategies. Personality cult. Like past strongmen, Trump built a larger-than-life persona where loyalty to him mattered more than ideology or governance. Attack on institutions. Whether it was undermining the justice system, intelligence agencies, or the media, Trump weakened trust in institutions that could check his power. Polarization and division. He thrived on pitting groups against each other, creating an us versus them mentality to maintain control. Perpetual victimhood. No matter how much power he had, Trump always presented himself as the victim of the deep state, the media, or rigged elections, just as autocrats before him have done to justify drastic actions. Trump didn't need to seize power by force. He got millions of Americans to willingly hand it to him. His return win in the 2024 US presidential elections is clear evidence. Bonus facts. Here are 4 powerful facts that make Trump's political dominance even more shocking. Number 1. First US president to face multiple criminal indictments. No other president has faced the level of legal jeopardy that Trump has, yet his base remains fiercely loyal. Number 2. Trump's false claims about elections are still believed. Despite all evidence, a majority of his supporters still believe the 2020 election was stolen. Number 3. GOP remains dependent on Trump's influence. Even in 2024, Republican leaders fear openly opposing him, knowing it could end their careers. In 2025, the fear continues. Number 4. Trump's rallies have a cult-like atmosphere. His supporters attend rallies multiple times, travel across states, and see him as more than just a politician. He's a movement. Trump didn't just win elections, he reshaped a nation's political identity. His movement is not just about policies, elections, or parties, it's about power, control, and a radical redefinition of what it means to lead. Look at what is happening in his second term as president. Some say he's a genius. Others call him a threat to democracy. But one thing is clear. Donald Trump has built a political kingdom that may last long after his presidency. The question is, how does it all end? Perhaps it won't. The Republican Party may just have a name change. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, Best Time Quest, today.